Hi all. Right, welcome back. More Conflict of Heroes solo campaign 1, mission 1 behind enemy lines. This is my part 7. This looks like, we're just starting a new round. But things going absolutely terrible. We're not getting anywhere in this mission unless for some reason these 4 units can get terribly lucky and get something. Now, see, the thing I'm starting to worry about now is, because it's a campaign and it goes on to another mission obviously after this. Well, I've already said there's 4 missions and I've got some idea that there is some carry on from this mission because I have done it before. So I suppose, one of the guys watching, Scott, I think, didn't want to watch this for spoilers if you've not played it before. I guess, I'd probably be the same, to be honest. I wouldn't say they're major spoilers, I don't think, anyway. We'll maybe find out when we go on to the next mission. But I'd be the same, I think. If I hadn't played it before, I'd be just wanting to know what happens and when it happens, rather than watching somebody else do it. But this part here, it says Germans that are on or west of row 10 at the end of the mission escape capture. So that bit's kind of telling you that if you're this side of things, you're going to get captured, and if you're that side of things, you're going to be fine. So my worry is now, and there's a glance at the mission track, it didn't push on too far recently, but it did remove our last German unit from the cup, so we're not going to get any other German units unless we rescue our 2 prisoners, however. But as you can see, there's that line, it's just the split in the map, that if we end up the mission on this side of that line, we're going to get captured. If we end up on that side, we're going to be not captured. We're going to escape capture. So I dare say you're thinking, well, what? I mean, it sounds bad, but like I say, I can't remember exactly what happens, but you kind of know that's going to be bad as for going forward. But I can't remember exactly, so I'm not sure. I still get the feeling that this could go terribly wrong. We could get all these units captured in here and we could still move on to the next mission. I think it's not going to, like, you've got to redo it again, you've got to start again because you achieved nothing. I could be wrong with that. We'll probably find out. But like I say, do we push down towards these? I think we've still got to try. Whether we push all 4 units across this line, maybe we decide to, but then we're getting nothing for killing the Soviet units. If we want the points, we need to get one of these gives us 4 points, which would help. We'd also release another unit. But I think I want to say there's 4 more Soviet units in the cup still. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's obviously 3 no enemy units in the cup. So need to get kind of lucky, find these are probably going to be the ones that are going to... But we've got these units up here that are going to come down to us as well. So it's a bit of a muddle, but I'd like to get this one part finished. I'm not awful sure. I think I might, once I get this finished, maybe move on to something else. Whether go back to the other table or not, or set something else up. Might even take a little break and just not record and just play something on the table. I'm not sure, to be honest. Fields of Fire is still itching me. I was going to post a question actually on the Fields of Fire forum on BGG. Maybe just asking, would I be losing out on anything if I started playing the game? Obviously, I'm using the old components, like the deluxe, and we're talking the deluxe version when it's released. So rather than wait for it coming out, would I be losing much if I used the PDF rules of the deluxe version, but I was still using the old components? I get the feeling no, because the game's still very much playable. It's not that. It's just that they're streamlining it. The rules are so much better, and that's the main part. So I've got a copy of the rules, even though it's not physical. It's on a PDF, so I need to be using my tablet for that. But I'm pretty sure I could get around my component issues and still be able to play the game. So it's just, every time I read a bit more of the rules, I'm itching to play it. So you never know, you might actually see it appear, but I'd rather wait on the deluxe coming out, being released. But I don't know if I can wait. We'll see. Anyway, back to this. Right, one thing to talk about, and I've been rather foolish with this one. Oh, why did I move that? I could have showed you that on this. Well, hang on, give me a second. Yeah, it was something like that. Right, give me a second, I'll pause it now. Right, yeah, I had this set up. This is a picture I took to link on BGG. I had a bit of to-ing and fro-ing with Lewis regarding my question about... no, I've not got the post in front of you. I probably should. Give me a second. Yeah, so this was regarding my question I put on BGG, titled AI Furthest From a Unit That Just Acted. And I've just been a fool here, really. Unfortunately, I'm not going to read through all this. You can go and read the thread if you want. Basically, my question was, AI furthest from a unit that just acted. Do we literally consider the AI that is furthest from the unit that just acted? This is, the red cube is the unit that just acted. Do we consider literally the AI that's furthest from it? Or, because of the way it's worded, or do we consider... Or do we have to take into consideration the definition of furthest from, which is the AI which is furthest from its closest target, right? And that very last word, target, I just must have just went right over the top of my head. So my thinking there was that, do we look at the AI that is the closest one that's furthest from the unit that just acted? So anyway, I went and posted the question. Scott came back and said he's always played it as literally. So I don't think he's seen the sort of discrepancy in my post before that I had listed. And then I had a... to be honest, yeah, that's the comment I never read again, Scott. Would phrasing it as AI furthest from a unit that just acted will move towards its closest target, regardless if it was a unit that just acted or not, be some part to understand. I think it's just me that's just got this wrong. And then Lewis came in with some comment. He says there is only one unit that meets the target condition just acted. I didn't read that. Well, I did read it. That's it right there, Lewis, actually, yeah. You've said it right there, and I've still not understood it. I've still not took it on board. He said there is only one unit that meets the target condition just acted. Hence, the AI is the one that meets the condition with respect to that one unit, which is its closest target. Well, he must have been pulling his hair out, because I went back and forth quite a bit trying to explain, because then he started talking about group actions, because he must have thought, this guy, well, he must have took my first comment about this being the unit that just acted. This is the target. This is the target. There's no other target to look at. Whereas if it was an AI furthest from its closest unit, you would consider this target and this target. You don't consider this one at all. This is its target. So I've just not got that. Sorry about that, guys. That's my bad. And apologies to Lewis in particular, because he must have been trying to bash that into my head. But because I think the reason he went on to group actions because he thought, what is this guy talking about? What is he on about here? He's just away in a world of his own. So yeah. So and I read it again. The description of furthest from is the AI which is furthest from its closest target. It's not. Yeah, I mean, like I say, if this was furthest from the closest AI, but it's not. It's furthest from the closest AI that just acted. So this has to be the target. Where's the AI that's furthest from it? And I wanted to say it was this one because I'm thinking this guy's closer to that. That's his nearest target. That's his closest. Although he's furthest away from that, that's his closest. But that's not right. So my read on it here was that the green cube was the one that was furthest from its closest target. But that's not what it is. It's furthest from the closest target that just acted. And that's not furthest from, because that is furthest from the closest target that just acted. So, yeah, totally got that one wrong and just couldn't grasp that at all. And sometimes that's how my head just works. you know, it's not the first time I've made a complete blunder like that. I've done it many times before in other games. So yeah, like I say, I'm no expert. I'm no, yeah, I'm not one that knows all the rules, and I'm one that can clearly make just silly blunders like that. So apologies again, guys. Right, let's get back to this, and nothing more to talk about. Let's just carry on. This is a fresh new round, so we need initiative roll. You know what? I've only got 4 caps. I don't think it's worthwhile. I'm just gonna roll on it because I'm hoping to get a quick part in here. I've not got an awful lot of time, so right, initiative. We need an 8 or higher. Another double 6 just to kick things off. There we go. Well, hopefully that's our die rolls to come. So we do get an initiative. Well, we need to bring these guys forward. This is the closest guy, so here's just a rifle, mind you. Well, in fact, that's all we've got left. We've lost our 2 machine guns as well. And one of our pioneers. So our best unit is that pioneer. Cards-wise in our hand, we've got that rapid deployment still, which I will put to use, because it is a free move of 2 hexes. I just want to use it in a time where it's going to do something good. And then we've got the luck that modify a die roll. But again, going into seeing that last round, how it finished, how the Soviets just kept playing and playing and playing, and we could do nothing. We kept having to pass. I don't know if I'm missing out a trick there or not. I'm not sure. Right, I think I'm going to move this rifle unit. So he's back. I've got to remember, it has night rolls against all Grant, mind. Yeah, so he's back. Reversing it into there and then turning his face in that way. So that's going to be a check on a 2. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm just going to send him down in there first, I think. See how far he'll get. Well, here's a check on a 2 to get him started, so... Okay, we get a 6. It's not the start of the doom start that I was expecting. Right, okay, let's just kick on. Back to them. So, command order. Well, that's a horrible start. I mean, okay, it doesn't matter to them now, but it's a free... However, they're more than likely just going to move, aren't they? So it's maybe not a free check. A free would be a check on a 1, maybe. But maybe not. Execute counteractions. We didn't pass, we didn't fire, so none of that. Hit AI, there's none. AI 0DM hex closest to target, lowest move towards cover, closest to target. Okay. I think I spoke about this question recently, didn't I? And then how Lewis would come back, and I really liked his answer to that. Although he said there's nothing he can point to in the rules, he said that way he would look at it as he would consider the cover that was closest to the unit's flank. And I like that, and I'm going to use that. And okay, you might say, well, that's your rule 42, and I guess it is, because going by the rules, although it doesn't say you would have to randomise covers, it just says the closest cover. But if there's 2 that are just as close, how do you decide between? I think the designers just left that one there to say, look, it's common sense. You pick the one that's going to be closer to the guy's rear, because that's where his cover, that's where his defence is going to be weaker. So I'm going to start using that. So if there's 2 pieces of cover that are tied, I'm going to consider the one that's in the rear. It's closer to its flank. There might be some edge cases that come up, and we'll just see, and we might have to randomise between. However, right, AI 0 DM hex closest to a target, lowest move towards cover, closest to target. Right. Well, that'll be able to happen. I'll just shift the card out of the way now. Where is the AI? In a 0 DM hex that's closest to a target. Could be this guy. He's in the 0 DM hex. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah, it's got to be him, innit? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he is the AI that's in a 0 DM hex. Yeah, he was. But he's in a 0 DM hex. That's his closest, and that's his closest. So, can he low risk move? Before I start randomising between the 2, he can clearly low risk move towards them, because he's going to be moving from a non-fire zone um, into another non-fire zone hex, because remember the line of sight is only 2 hexes because of the night rules. So there's no issue with that. So let's find the AI first. And remember, it's not, although we need to find which AI, we then need to find the cover that's closest to that AI. You can see that this one's going to have 1, 2, 3 options. This one's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 options. So let's find the AI first. That's a target. Execute a move towards multiple units. See that it's a wee bit tricky, this one, because we're looking. This is 5.2.2, page 8, target hierarchy for AI moves. However, we're not actually moving towards the unit, we're moving towards the cover. So, but the hierarchy is the spent unit first, then the hit unit, then the unit closest to a mission objective. Well, actually, I think none of them are going to apply, are they? Spent, hit, mission objective, so it is going to be randomly anyway. So that makes it fair. But if it was one over the other, it's a bit strange, because then once you find the unit, you're then actually looking for the cover, but we can't pick the cover first here, so we need to find the unit. So I think that's the only way you can do it. So randomise between the two, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, I don't generally show you this dial anyway, do I? That's a waste of time. It's a 3, right, so it's the guy further towards the map edge. I was going to say the north, but it's not, because that's a west. So it's further, closer to the west map edge. So he is the target of the move. So we've now got covers here, 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 and here. Now I've said, that's a trickier one, isn't it? Because, I've said if we're going to look at 4 covers, then we're going to look at this one here. This would be the one that's in its flank. But to be honest, all this unit's going to do is probably just move into that hex. He's getting closer to all the covers involved. Because he'd be getting closer to that one too if we were considering that. So I'm going to move him into there. You could sort of say that hex there is actually closer to that cover than from where he is. And you could say that hex there is closer to these covers. But then, hang on, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 5, it is. The problem with that hex there is it's not getting closer to that unit, and neither is that. So, but the instruction is not anything to do with moving closer to the unit. It's low risk move towards cover closest to target. So you can see what I'm saying there. We're kind of deciding that now. We should be considering this being it's. But like I've said, that hex is 1 hex closer as well. So do I randomise between the two? I think I'm going to just step in. I can see myself more and more try to hold myself back. Just pick the hex. It makes more sense, Grant. This game it's definitely suited towards. We've got a situation like this, and we're trying to break it down with a rule, and it's definitely suited towards. It is definitely suited towards a rule, and that's Rule 42. In the rule book, as Lewis pointed out to me. So if I'm going to start rolling in that's going to be further from the unit. I'm going to move into this hex. It is achieving. It's not breaking a rule, but it's taking maybe a random die roll out of the equation. Right, now what's his facing going to be? Well, it's definitely going to be. I would say it's going to be that, because that picks up everybody. Whereas if I went that. I'm in that guy's flank, so that covers everything. Right, going to go with that. There's no check required because that is a blue command card. Just checking we are recording. No, I've spoken about all the other parts. I don't think there was anything in part 6 apart from me yakking on for 25 minutes at the beginning, which I believe I put a comment in the header just as a warning. some folk maybe got used to that, but maybe still like some of the content in my videos, just don't like that bit, so they can move on. I find it all important, and need to speak about it for myself anyway, you know. Right, back to us. Right, well, there's a stone building there. I mean, I don't want to get involved with this guy. I don't think I want to move in the stone building, though. Is that guy in the open? No. I think I just want to move in there, and it goes in behind the stone building. Because I'm still out of range of that guy anyway. So I'm just going to move in there and check at 1. Yeah, you've been as well going in the stone building, Grant. That's him finished for the round. That's just, yeah. Well, that's how this game works, Grant. You played it before. Are you having issues now? I don't think so. I'm maybe just having not the best luck. I mean, I still like the way it works. But yes, you're going to draw a card, and it could have been a 1, it could have been a 6, could have been a 2, it could have been anything. It's draw a card, roll a dice, draw a chip out of a cup. Chip draw out of a cup. Okay, back to them. I mean, no, that's silly. Yeah, okay, carry on. Right, green card this time. Better. Right. Counter actions, no. We did not pass, we did not fire. AI closest to target, low risk, move 2 yards. Okay. So going to be the same guy. Oh, actually, maybe not. He's 1, 2, 3 away from him, but this RE is 1, 2, 3. Did I not consider that RE? I didn't. He would have been 4 away from that guy, wouldn't he? What was he? Was in there, wasn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not count him being 4 away from him. Oh, yeah. Would it have selected him being an RE? Yeah, it might have done. Yeah, because it's just what is it, unhit, and then lowest cost to move, isn't it? Oh, I'm just going to leave it. That was a mistake, though. I should have randomised between the 2 AI there. But I've drawn a couple of cards. I'll just let it go, I think. It would mean putting cards back, and it would maybe mean I get away with a spent check there, which seems a bit cheeky. So we'll let it go. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So these are the 2 closest this time. So yeah, and it's just going to be, like I said, unhit. Well, can they both make a low risk move? And he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4 away from that, so that is his closest. Maybe not in this case. I don't think this guy can he? Well, he's not in a fire zone, but he's going to be moving into 1, and it's not a DM hex. And that's the only hex he can move in to get closer to the unit. So the other options are, which I would maybe consider moving at the flank, but I don't see it in this position. But then again, that could quite be. And yeah, I've not had an answer back. I'm looking on Facebook, and I know Ken, I know you sent me to that Facebook page, but I posted that comment 3 days ago now, and it's still pending moderators like approval or whatever. I don't know if I've done something wrong, but that's not really any good if I'm going to have to wait. Unless this is something that once I've read one of my questions, maybe they'll, maybe any more questions I've got will be okay. Maybe it's a one-off thing. I don't know. But it's a bit pointless if I'm going to have to wait days to get my post. Even, mate, it's not even out there. Nobody can see it because it's like waiting on some moderator to approve it. And of course, the main part of the question is, can you make a move round to the flank without getting closer to the unit, which is what that could be considered. A move from there to there, or a move from there to there would be considered moving into this side of his flank or that side of his flank. I don't feel as good about it when we're head on like that. But then, if you're going to do it when if I would do it when he's here, why not do it when he's here? It's a long way around to his flank, but why are you going to restrict? If the rule says you can do it, then you should move into either one of these hexes, should you not? So, but I wish I'd got the answer back from that now, because if I had, if they come back and say, yeah, that is a legal move, then that would be a legal move, because that is moving towards that guy's flank. Because the next low risk move, he moves in there. Next low risk move, to be honest, he would probably move in there, but you can see it's a kind of long way around though. If he's not going to move within 2 hexes of the guy, he's going to have to move right round, like there, and then there he would be in the guy's flank. You can see it's a long process. But that's what the designer said, is to keep the unit as safe as possible. It's a low risk move. It's stay out of trouble, So what are you going to do with that one, Grant? Because this guy can make a low risk move, because he would be moving from a non-fire zone hex into a fire zone hex that has a DM. Not only that, he's actually moving towards that guy's cover too, although that shouldn't be something that you're considering at the moment. But I'll tell you what, when he is in there, well, he's then in a fire zone, no, Grant. If he moves in there, he's in his flank, shall we say. Okay, I'm gonna leave that guy then. Yeah, it looks like you're starting to do things here, Grant, that are, I feel like it's very difficult to stay away from making some decisions yourself. I mean, I found it easier to do when I was playing Red Storm, because the AI system is very loose. It's not a complex system. This is much more complex, but not as complex as, like, say, Animaction or Den or Kharkov, which takes care of everything 99.9, well, I don't know, 99% of the time. Whereas this is less of that, isn't it? It's leaving you a little bits that, there's a question I'd like, if the designer was right here beside me, I'd love to ask him, look, in this situation, can that unit low risk move towards that? If so, where are his hexes he can go? And, because I kind of think that would maybe be an option. Not moving closer, but moving towards his flank. I don't know though. But the other bit about it, if he's in a fire zone there, if this was a fire zone and there was no nighttime conditions, no, that wouldn't be allowed then, would it? Because he's moving into, because he's in a fire zone, he needs to move into a non-fire zone or a fire zone hex. No, that's step 3 is we'll move towards the target's flank if the AI cannot move closer and the hex is the same or higher DM or not in a fire zone. Yeah. So in actual fact, if this was a fire zone, I still read it that guy could move into there, moving towards the unit's flank. But, yeah, just, I need the question answered, don't I? Okay, I'm going to say that guy can't do it then, and it's just down to this guy. And I'm not 100% comfortable with that. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it at all, because, I know, Grant, just get on that. If this guy wasn't here, right, and this unit was in here, and that was his closest, remember, he's not here. Just cover the card, right, then if I was to low risk move towards that's my closest, I would move into that hex. So what is the difference between that and not feeling like you can move into that hex, Grant? Because that's the next step. When he's in there, he then moves in there. Because I find that legal. I would then find that legal, Well, he might go into there, but I'd need to check the situation out then. Well, stick by your guns then. Stick by your guns if you think that's the way to do it. The problem is, once he moves into here, his next move can't go into here. Well, it might, because of this guy. No, because then he'd be moving to this guy's fire zone. You see, that's the problem with that one. But things could change then. You're not meant to be thinking ahead to what his next move might be. He might get a normal move towards. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm sticking by this one about moving towards the flank, so I'm gonna go with it. So I'm going to randomise between the two. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be this guy, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1, 2, 3 for the unit, right? Okay. I rolled a 5. Okay. I know I didn't show you that when I said that was that, but I don't mess about with die rolls, honestly. Please trust me. So it's going to be that guy, but again, I need to know the answer. This situation will come up again. So he's going to move into there, isn't he? So although he's moved into a fire zone, he is in cover. He won't be revealed either because he's in a DM hex. He is going to, however, take a check on a 2, which I'm kind of hoping is going to spend them. It is not, because he draws a 3, and it's back to us. Right. Right, my pioneers have to move. They're my strongest unit. I'm going to move them into there. That's out of cover, but I'm not in the fire zone. So next move, if this guy was to like boldly move towards us, then I might consider firing. I could do it being a cover, mind you, but I need to move. I need to move down this way. So I'm going to move in there, checking a 1. Come on. This isn't right. He got one hex. He got 2 hexes, didn't he? Oh. Yeah, it's just not working. It's not working. We're not getting the breaks. Right, back to them. Not a blue card. Hit AI, there is none. AI closest to the lowest defense value unit fresh. Fire plus on caps. Well, there is a fire option on. Only one. Yeah, there was a question on BGG. I went and took a chance and answered from Matthew. Just trying to work out how to read the order cards and was a bit confused about when it says lowest defensive value unit, then that's the one that you've got to go for. Oh, see, this isn't working anyway. He's not fresh. About how to read through it all and whatever. Lewis laid out something a bit better than what I did regarding how he goes about it, and also I linked a couple of threads that might help the guy out and whatever. But it can be complicated reading through these, and then of course I've got the certain issues with some things as well, which I'm not 100% clear about, and don't feel like it's clear in the rules, and it's maybe just that it's not clear in Grant's head and it's clear in everybody else's head. But yeah, I need the designer to come and tell me. He made a lot of comments back in the day, but I don't think he frequents BGG, and that was my whole point of going on to that Facebook thing. So maybe it'll come better when things settle down or whatever. We shall see. We'll wait a bit longer yet before we start. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is not a valid target because he's not fresh. That's the only thing that can be considered to fire, because remember, we've got to be within 2 hexes. So we'll move to the next order. It is AI closest to a unit, closest to a mission objective. Right, can't do that one either. So this is the RE move one, isn't it? So all RE, lowest move towards closest units. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. That's a low risk move, right? Okay. Right, so ORE and none others apply. There's no hit AI. There's not a fresh unit that can be fired upon. And there's not a mission objective for the AI to move closest to a unit closest to it. Again, do these control markers count as our mission objectives? I don't know. It's possible. I don't think so. It's not something. It's something I've thought about after the fact. Generally, when it says mission objective on these cards, it's talking about either a joint mission objective or the Soviets' mission objective, the AI's mission objective. I don't think it's really meaning our mission objectives, but you could consider it here because it's wanting to move closer to one of our units that's closest to a mission objective. So could be, but I don't think so. I'm not going to take it. So we're going to go for ORE, low risk move towards closest units. Right, there's a lot of them, isn't there? Okay. Well, let's get this one out of the way. Now, I already said that if he was to low risk move, well, hang on, he's in because he's in a fire zone. He can't get closer because he's not allowed to move into there, but he can move into there. That's moving out of a fire zone towards the flank. I'm good with that. That's a 1 AP check. I don't think I need to do that. I'm going to remember. I think I'm just going to draw one card. I think that's how the guys resolved that. I seem to remember the question being asked before about how do you resolve the checks on all these. We'll just draw one card for the spent check and whatever the... I suppose a better... Well, I can see the hex that's moved into it, can't I? Just need to look at the hex that's moved into it. I was going to put dice on top saying how much it costs, but I'll just check the hex that's moved into it. Right, for instance, so for this guy, his closest is here. So he can move here or here, both are the same, although that sort of looks like a stone building, but I think we spoke about this already. See that one there as well, doesn't it? I don't think it is. I think it's more, that's clearly stone, and these are just wood, but they're a darker wood, obviously. So, well, you know what? This is closer to the flank. Yeah, I'm going to just go for that one. I'm going to start doing it. So that's that. This guy down here, again, same target, same one that's closest. Well, he'll actually move into there, I think. Because, yeah, both these hexes are going to be 1 hex closer. This is into cover, so into there. You know what, that is going to bug me. Because I'm going to have to just look at them all anyway, aren't I? To see... Whereas if I do have a little dice on top, then I can work it out right away without having a look at the terrain underneath. Right, so that's day 3. Right, so I'll deal with these 2 down here. I'll shift that card out of the way just now. Probably the same targets for these guys. Give me a sec. Well, he's got 2 choices, so 1, 2, 3. Not a big no. 4, so he's moving into there, which is moving 1 hex closer to that guy. Checking a 1, and this guy here, he's in a position where that's, I think, no, actually these are both just as close, so he will move into that one because it's got better cover, and he'll be checking on a 2. I know it's maybe silly when they're way back there, but the rules. But again, you could just easily step in and say, right, he's not want to check on a 2, he's just want to check on a 1, move into there because it's just as good a hex. It's not really doing anything. I'm following the rules, but it's quite open there that you can step in, and you know what? Maybe you should step in. There you go. Right, and the 2 up the top. So has 1, 2, 3, 4. If he moves in there, is 1, 2, 3. If he moves in there, 1, 2, 3. So he is going to move into there. And this stone building is just, it's not +2, it's just +1, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a +1. So he gets a 2 as well. And then that guy there, think he's got a choice of 2 actually, isn't he? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, again, you could say that's moving towards the flank, Grant. So let's just do that. So, and then that's a check on 1. Right, so that's a mole. And that's the card done. We will draw a spent check. So a 1 here would be amazing. So here we go. And we get a 5. So it doesn't affect any of them. And I think that's just been about the difference in the game here, is them getting card draws like that and dice rolls and whatever. But anyway. Right, stop feeling bitter, Grant. Get on with it. Right, back to us. We have 2 rifle units left. I'm going to move this guy up here for 1. Checking on a 1. Right, I was just going to start laughing there. It is not though, it's a 5. Back to them. We get a reshuffle after this action. This card's going top. Okay, let's check the card. Nothing up top. AI or infantry guns, none of that. AI furthest from the lowest defense value unit, fire. Well, we do have an option to fire this time with that instruction. Yes, we do. So this RE up here, and he's in the flank of this guy, and he's in the open, so he's attacking against an 11. However, we need to find out what this is. And the fact that we're looking for the lowest defense value unit doesn't matter. He's the only unit that can fire because of the night rules. So there's nothing else to check, but he can attempt to fire. So we're going to find out what this is. Remember, there is, I want to say 4. We're kind of looking for a no enemy here, but there's 4 units and 3 no enemies, so we get a no enemy. Good. Right, and that finishes his turn as well, doesn't it? That's right. If we draw no enemy, he was going to fire that. Well, actually, that's the one that means he passes, doesn't it? Oh, does it? It does, doesn't it? We could take advantage of that and pass then. Why would we not? I mean, I've got 4 caps that I'm just going to have wasted, but let's just double check that rule. I'm going to reshuffle the... Oh, well, hang on. I'll just leave it on top just now. Give me a second. It sounds like somebody's cutting something outside, but maybe I can shut the window. Hang on. Right. I think I've shut the window and I think it's stopped. Anyway. Right, so, yeah, as I was just checking the rule there. Rumoured enemy ordered to attack. If an order card orders the AI to attack... So I'll get a bit closer here. I noticed not quite so sure that this app picks up the volume so as well as the other one does. I noticed it was a bit quieter when I turned around a bit. If an order card orders the AI to attack and an RE is most eligible to attack, then the RE is revealed. A counter is drawn from the rumoured enemy cut. If a no enemy counter is drawn, the rumoured enemy alarm was false. The RE counter is removed from the map. The drawn no enemy counter is discarded from the game, and the AI passes. So that's a bit of a cheeky one for us, actually. To be able to sneak in here and make the most of that pass. So I would be reshuffling the deck here, which, to be honest, I can still do that anyway, because I think I'm just going to pass, and then we end the round. And it doesn't really, it's not. We're not counting the number of rounds here. Remember, nothing tracks the number of rounds. Well, certain rules, and each mission might, you might be able to draw another card, etc. I do lose the possibility of my 4 caps that were there. But it's just because I've got 2 units spent. They have no units spent. I think I should take advantage of just passing, because it doesn't really hurt me in any other way. It hurts, it helps me more than it helps them. The only thing being, I'm going to have to roll for initiative again, so they might be taking another turn next, but that's fine as well. Or I could just move on, but the likelihood of me moving on and not getting anywhere, and then them just bashing on, probably not passing for a long time. I should take advantage of this pass. Hello. Right, hi all. Okay, done my usual pause and record and pause, and I'll need to cut this. I'll need to cut a bit out just before this because there's a 10-minute conversation with my wife on the phone, which you do not want to hear. Or maybe you do, but you're not getting to. Yeah, she was giving me a hard time as usual, so you definitely don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so I'll need to cut that out. I did check though, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I'm talking about the RE passing. They have passed. Did I read the rule out? Oh, you know what? I think I did. Anyway, they are passing. Rather than read it out again, because I think I've read it. The RE are passing because the AI are passing. Because that RE was revealed. It was going to attack. It was revealed as a no enemy. They pass. We pass as well. So I'm going to start a new round. I also run out of time because that phone calls took up the last 10 minutes I probably had to keep going here. However, we are just moving on to another round, so it's probably a good time just to have a short part, isn't it? Okay, so I've refreshed the 2 units. The AI didn't have any units. Our caps haven't moved anyway. Track's still on the same, but yeah, not a lot happened there, but it has given us a chance to reset the 2 units that we managed to draw 1s on to get spent, and the AI were drawing 5s and 6s all the time. So hey ho, that's how it goes. Yeah, we do have 2 command cards out. I was just looking, I thought we'd taken 2 units out. We have. I didn't count the dogs there, and I think that was fair. I'm just looking at it now, actually. I didn't really think about it. When the dogs went, I didn't take a command order card out for them, but I think I'll let that one go because I'm not really sure. I was watching back on that. I'm not really sure how they should have worked, and it would have been better probably just leaving them out. I done it the way I kind of thought it might be, and that's kind of the best I could do. So yeah, probably I'm just best leaving it there rather than starting again. I might get another part done tonight when I get finished. I'm in a bit earlier from work. And then after that, probably not going to get much done. Yeah, I was thinking about what I might want to do next. I know I started this part off talking about maybe finishing this mission and maybe just leaving it for a bit. I don't know. I might get to the end of it and look at the start of the next mission and say, yeah, let's just keep going again. But don't know. Sometimes you can overdo it and start burning yourself out a bit. Not that I'm not enjoying myself anymore. I suppose you could say it does become a little bit frustrating when you feel like you're banging your head against the wall, not really getting anywhere on this mission. And to be honest, the last 2 missions I've had have been a bit like that as well. So it's maybe starting to take its toll a little bit. But I don't know where to go next. Back to Red Storm. I don't know. Maybe because I'd need to refresh myself on where we are. That's a problem when you come away from these big rulebook games and leave them and pause for a good bit and then try and go back. There was thoughts about maybe something new again, or then obviously Fields of Fire's working about in my head, maybe being considered as well. So I don't know. Right, I'll leave that part for now, and I'll need to do a bit of editing before this video gets out. But maybe I'll be back tonight, and who knows, maybe finish this mission. No, I think there's probably another couple of parts in this. Although the way it's been going, maybe not. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, I'll be back later. Cheers.